downfall in you guys' relationship when you guys split apart?
You asked a good question, because I'm still trying to figure that out right now. I don't know what it was. If you ask me, I don't know what it was.
So one day he just called you? Did he call you personally, or did something?
No, he sent me an email.
Wow. He sent you an email?
Yeah. Your services are no longer needed. See you.
Really? It wasn't no phone call, you know, with you being with him the first 2 years of his career? Y'all having so much success?
No. I just think Usyk, and I think those around him who influenced him, because he could have had anybody to train him. He was an Olympic gold medalist. So he sought out all the people in the world to seek out. He sought me out in America and said, hey, could you come to Ukraine to train me? And I went there for 3 years. I spent time there. I lived there. I did everything right. Everything right. I don't know what happened. I just got a text, which I thought was strange. And the text said that, no, your service is no longer required. That was the end of it. Wow. And that's what I said, wow.
And that is an interview courtesy of, oh, shit, you know how I do. You know how I do. IOTBA, shout out to him for getting an interview with Coach James Ali Bashir. And he discussed his split, his strange separation with Oleksandr Usyk. We've heard of trainers, fighters, all of a sudden falling out, or a dispute over money, or just separation altogether. But this one is very strange. You know, I remember when Andy Ruiz split with Manny Robles back in the day, and his father came to relieve him of his duties after the loss to Anthony Joshua. And this one here is also another strange event. Even though Oleksandr Usyk has never taken a professional loss, he was, as you guys heard from the interview, that he was called, or not even called, he was emailed, okay, and said that his services were no longer required, okay, and that's what I want to counterpunch today. Time frame is important. When people tell me about certain things, I want to know what time it was, especially if it's something that deals with accuracy and accountability, okay. I think they decided to go another direction. I think definitely it could have been handled a lot differently, especially if you had no problems with the fighter, or the fighter had no problems with you, okay? So that was very unprofessional by Team Usyk, or whatever, or whoever, you know. One thing I did notice, I noticed like a lot of Ukrainian, or Eastern European, it's better to say, they like to pretty much stick with their own. If they got a guy over there, you know, they like to stick to someone that they know. And we know Usyk was with Papachenko, called Lomachenko's father. And then he decided to go with Coach James, okay? And I think, like James said, I do agree with him. I think somebody was pressuring him to do so. But even if that was the case at all, they could have handled that better. You know, it's a way to do things. It reminds me of Gennady Golovkin and Sanchez, okay? Abel Sanchez, you know, where he just came, packed all the shit up and left, you know. And I think the problem is with these type of relationships, I think where you don't have a contract on these trainers, or the trainers don't have a contract on you, they're able to do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it, you know, and it's unapologetic, you know. And a lot of times you can come off like, okay, that was 100% absolutely shitty way of handling things. And, you know, in an email, that is bad. I hate when people text me something they can't tell me in my face. Me personally, when I hear it, when I see people do that, that pisses me off. But I think, again, even if he was being pressured, I think him being a person should have been able to, hey, you know, nothing was wrong. You did great. We just going into another direction or whatever. Hopefully that was just a short version of what he read in the email, and it wasn't that. And if it was that, this is what I'm counterpunching. Okay, so I think at the end of the day, I think that could have been handled a lot differently, because if you're successful with a fighter, you know, there's no need to improve. However, a lot of times, if something happened in a fight where they thought they could improve, you don't have to wait until a loss to cut your losses. Okay, so we have to look at it like that. I don't know what fight or when he was cut off. Okay, so I don't know it chronologically, but it maybe they seen some things that they didn't discuss with the trainer. And that happens a lot too. You know, that passiveness gets me a lot, because, you know, I'm more of a passive aggressive, but I'm more upfront with a person, or I try to be, versus, let me wait and observe what a person does, and then, you know, and then make a decision without that person's knowledge, right? So that could have been one of those things, and that maybe or maybe not be the reason why he's still undefeated to this day. Okay, so but again, it is a strange event. I would like to know myself. I think closure is the key. Whenever you separate from a guy that you put in charge, you know, to protect you, okay, train you, and hopefully save your life if need be. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of James Ali Bashir giving his take on why Oleksandr Usyk asked him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.